In a few simple steps, how to have the most productive day as a real estate agent in 2025. This video is for you. Grab a pen or a pencil, grab a notepad, right? Or grab your separate device if you're watching this video and jot some notes. We're gonna start with waking up in the morning, and then we're gonna go to the evening. I'm gonna give you a similar kind of format to what I did when I started and how to have a jam-packed productive day, okay? Are you ready? Let's start. Wake up early. Now, do you have to be as hardcore as I was, waking up at 4:35 in the morning? Not necessarily. However, as a general rule of thumb, I'm going to recommend that you wake up at least 2 hours before you start your day. So if you get on the phones, or we're going to start your workday at 8 a.m., I would advise you to be awake at least at 6. Maybe even 15 minutes before that if you have a longer commute to your office, like 30 minutes. If you work at home, 2 hours is enough. Now, this morning time, let's say 6 to 8 for the sake of this video, okay? 6 to 8 is where we set the tone for the day and we do prep, okay? Now, I'm assuming somebody's gonna be starting here ground zero. If you haven't, I would obviously recommend you grab a dialer, you grab a telephone software to get you leads like expires and FSBOs and all that stuff. Let's assume you don't have that though. Let's assume you don't have that. Then we're gonna make it a little bit easier today, okay? Between 6 and 8, I want you to do these things. I want you to exercise at least 30 minutes. Doesn't have to be crazy. If you want to go to the local gym and play some basketball, great. You want to go lift some weights, you want to just go for a walk, a brisk walk, do it at least 30 minutes after waking up, okay? I want you to hydrate. If possible, I want you to meditate for 15 or 20 minutes. If you're new to meditation, go on YouTube, get a guided meditation video, binaural beats, whatever it is, and do that to get your mind calm, focused, and in state. Okay? Additionally, right, so we have about 30 minutes of exercise, maybe a little bit more. We have another 15 to 20 minutes of meditation. I want you to add in 30 minutes of specific reading or education. Let's say you're watching this video and you join my coaching program as an example. And I want to tell you to get on one of my specific sales lectures or lectures that are conducive to your growth in this industry or whatever it is that you're doing. Okay? Because then it's focused. If not, you get a book. If we're starting at that, get a book. Forget YouTube and podcasts for a second. Get a book. You want to do an audio book, that's fine, but I prefer a paperback book, hardcover book, and read. We need to get back to these old school things. Right there, those three things are about an hour and a half. This is why I want you to be up 2 hours before you start your day. This will set the tone. You'll be awake. The blood will be pumping. You can take a shower, get ready, do whatever it is that you got to do. But by 8 a.m., I want you ready. And this is what we're going to do. By 8 a.m., again, I'm assuming you have nothing. You're going to start for the first 30 minutes, okay? You're going to pull out your phone, and you're going to call between 15 to 20 people that you know and let them know and say, hey, let's say I'm calling Jim. Jim, Bryan here. Hey, you got a second? Perfect. Look, I set a goal this year to help 30 families. This is where you insert your goal. To help 30 families buy or sell real estate. Who do you know right now that I can help? Anyone at work? Now, cool. Secondly, Jim, if you did have a referral for somebody, would you feel comfortable sending them to me? Yes, of course. Now, if they say no, then you would say, what would you need to know? Or how could I put you in a position to be comfortable enough to send me your referrals? Then you make the adjustments you need to make. Okay? Now, to finish the call, you would say, look, can I ask a huge favor of you, Jim? Look, can you keep your eyes peeled if you hear of anybody talking real estate? Can you give them my number and make that introduction? Awesome. Cool. How are the kids? After that, you got the business out of the way. Then if you want to do small talk for a minute or two, that's fine. Keep it short, keep it brief. If you want to keep talking, set up a lunch with them that week during your lunch hour or on the weekend and catch up then, and you can keep talking, okay? That's probably going to take you 15 to 30 minutes, maybe a little bit more, right? If you have more people, call more. Call 30 or 40, up to 50. After that, what are we going to do? You're going to get your behind in your car and you're going to door knock. Actually, forget that. This is what we're going to do. You're going to walk out the front of your real estate office or your home and you're going to door knock 100 residential doors in your neighborhood. Now, if you need scripts, comment scripts below and I'll shoot you my scripts. You can also find them in the description, but I recommend you leave a comment too and I'll send you the direct link. This will give you some general scripts to start with. That's what you're going to use when you go door to door, but I want you to hit 100 doors. Now, if you say, well, Bryan, it's too cold where I'm at right now. Fair enough, okay? Then I would want you to cold call. If you don't have software or anything like that, it's going to be difficult, right? Because you have to get numbers. We used to be able to get them from the title reps, right? But this is where you can look into softwares like Rebo Gateway, Vulcan 7, Mojo Data, right? And you can get phone numbers, the Haynes directory. And there's ways now with these companies where you can group up with 2, 3, or 4 people to split the cost of the software and get numbers. Because if you don't have numbers, it's going to be very difficult. You got to call out of the white pages or something like that. Okay? But most of you, I think, are in a position right now where you probably could go door to door. All right? Now, if you're like, hey, I can't, it's too cold, it's, you know, it's snowing, then keep calling people that you know. Spend at least 2 hours calling people that you know. All the rest of you who live in Florida like me or somewhere else where you can go door to door, go door to door. Hit 100 doors. You hit 100 doors, you'll talk to between 20 to 30, 35 people depending on your luck and your location. Okay? Now, we've barely hit noon because 100 doors will take you 2, maybe 3 hours. Make it quick. I have a very simple script that I'll give you, right? That morning right there up until noon is more productive than 99% of the industry. If you did that every day for 90 days, you're going to get something, even without skills or systems or anything. Now, of course, I'd recommend you have the rest of that, but let's just talk about the day. That's more of a productive morning than 99% of the industry right there. And I guarantee you I'm going to get comments, well, it's not that easy and this and that. Yes, it is. You just have to do it. Okay? That's how we start the day. It's noon. Now, this is what I want you to do at noon. Take a break, right? Go for lunch for 30 minutes or an hour. Chill. Take your mind off making calls, talking to people. Chill out. No follow-up, no nothing. Okay? I want you to relax. This is usually when I went back to my apartment. If you guys watched my videos, 10, 11, 12 years ago, I'd have some tea. I would sit, and sometimes because I was door knocking a lot and it was sunny in Southern California at the time, I'd pass out for like 15 or 20 minutes and take a nap because I was tired, right? I walked a lot. When I started tracking my steps in that time, I was walking a lot, 15, 20, 30,000 steps a day, just doing door knocking and my regular activities, right? So there's your morning. 12 to 1, chill. I want you to hang out. Now, assuming you've worked before, if you haven't, you're not going to do this next thing. But if you have, 1 to 2, I want you to put that as a slot to do 2 things. You're going to do follow-up, meaning you're going to call previous leads that have expressed interest, and you're going to try to set an appointment, right? That'll be your follow-up window. In addition to that, because most people aren't going to have enough leads to call for 1 hour, I want you to sneak in some role play. Now, we didn't do that in the morning because I didn't want to overwhelm you, but I'm going to add a session here. Ideally, you want a session in the morning and in the afternoon, okay? But forget the morning for now, since you're just getting started. Let's do it in the afternoon. Maybe 1:30 to 2, like 1 to 1:30, lead follow-up, 1:30 to 2. Have a role play partner, somebody that you find here in the comment section, on your coaching program, mine or whoever else's that you're on, and you have your person to practice for 30 minutes. Now, this isn't chit-chat. This is concentrated 30 minutes of role play. As soon as you pick up the phone, hi, is this Jim? You're into the role play, right? No messing around. You do 30 minutes of concentrated role play. I recommend minimum an hour a day. Right? If you're new, I'd recommend an hour and a half or 2 hours a day, because then you'll bridge that skill gap a lot faster. Okay? If you guys don't have accountability or role play partners, again, sound off in the comment section and you guys can connect with each other at least for now, so you have something to start. Okay? That's 1 to 2. Okay? Now, typically, again, 2 to 3, I'll tell people do admin work, return phone calls on current listings that you have, get back to your TC, get back to your clients with updates, talk to your vendors, your lender, your title rep, whatever you need. Maybe you can, if they have a class or they have some information stuff for you, 2 to 3, that's what you do, administrative activities. Now, if you have none or you're brand spanking new, then that window from 2 to 6, that first hour would be administrative, and I would tell people time block 3 to 6 or 3 to 7, depending on your area, for appointments. Now, again, if you're watching this and you want to have a productive day and you don't have an appointment, guess what? 3 to 7 is another prospecting slot. You're going to go out there and hit some doors again, or you're going to make calls. Again, for the sake of this video, if you don't have software or you're starting from ground zero, call people that you know again, right? And your homework after this day of productive work is going to be to build that list. All your old family, friends, colleagues, Facebook friends, Instagram friends, collect all their cell phones and emails and addresses and put them into this list. And your job is to go through that list in total every month, because these are people that know you by first name and recognize you. You're going to be asking them for referrals and business once a month. Then the people that you meet out there when you're door knocking and calling and you collect their information, you're going to be keeping in touch with them quarterly. That's going to be your B team on your database. These first, list of people that you know that are already in your phone or that you have previous friendship and relationships with, that's your A team, okay? So 2 to 3 administrative activities, and then that window from 3 to 6 or 3 to 7 for appointments. If you don't have appointments, you do more prospecting. You get on the phones more and you do more door to door. It is that simple. You follow that. Whoa, Bryan, that's hardcore. It's not hardcore. If you're looking for business, what else do you have to do, y'all? Notice how I didn't say dance on TikTok or do any of that nonsense that people are telling you, right? Because why? Social media will come later. I want you to build the foundation of working hard, working diligently, working in a disciplined way, building your systems, and most importantly, building your skill set. The fast track, in quotes, if there is one to be successful in real estate, is to build a robust skill set. This is why my students come in and within months, they're regularly taking listings. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 listings in a couple months. That's normal, but we focus primarily on the skill set amongst other things. You do this, then later on we can evolve your schedule, add a little bit of social media if you want to do home tours, new construction, whatever. You can add that later. But make your main primary focus prospecting and talking to people, and you do that, then of course you have the guidance and the coaching and training to build your systems, and you have the accountability in place and support. You have no choice but to succeed. But the reality is this, y'all. The simple schedule that I gave here is basically what I followed. I followed a more hardcore version. But again, nobody will follow this. Why do you think the majority of the industry is failing? You think they're following what I'm saying in this video? Absolutely not. They're mortified of prospecting. They refuse to prospect, or they say it doesn't work. And they're doing everything except talking to people, and they think they're going to be successful and get deals. The reality is, if you're not talking to people, you're not going to get business. Period. You need to do that, and as you grow, in conjunction with using social media to grow and market yourself and your brand. You do both. I think I'm one of the first people who really came out and did both at a high level and showed it to the world, and that's why my platforms exploded. But you follow this simple schedule, man, you will crush it. In addition to that, in the description, and you can leave a comment below as well, I've added a ton of free resources for you guys, a free sales crash course, listing process, negotiations, like all this stuff that you can take for free to help you along this journey. Now, if there's anything I can help you with, obviously I do coaching, training, courses, all that stuff. It's all on my website in the description, but it's up to you. At the very least, you have a basic schedule here. You can leave a comment, connect with other like-minded people who want to role play and build accountability, and you can use that comment section to get that conversation started. I also have a Discord that I posted here that I try to jump in from time to time, but there's a couple hundred people on it, so maybe you can connect with somebody there too. Okay? Appreciate you guys tuning in. I'm doing this to help you show, or help show you, better said, that it's not easy, but it's simple. If you can commit to what I said in this video, as hardcore as it is, but if you can commit, you will succeed in sales and business. That's for sure. The question is, are you going to do it? All right? We'll see you guys. Have a nice day.